spooky ass place.
Let's keep moving. I feel like we're being watched.
Yeah, I feel that way too. God, you are pale. I just realized how pale you were. It has been a hot minute since I played this game and focused on Devil May Cry 5. You know, I beat the game the first night I had it. After 12 hours of playing it, I beat it. I was stiff as hell when I quit. Good Lord, everything popped. Everything popped. Who is you?
I live in a dark world where no light shines through. I carry this burden with every step I take.
I'd heard stories about the Soul Cave, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's about what I imagined. Where'd you come from?
Oh.
Where'd you come from? Teamwork right there. I knew I heard something. Teamwork right there. Where'd you come from? Now, if I was a horse, where would I be? Where'd you come from?
You must help me find my Arvak. He doesn't deserve to be in a place like this.
I'll help you.
Arvak, my horse. Please, he's such a loyal creature. Arvak? Arvak! Where are you? Arvak, please come back. Come.
So I just need to find a group of people. No, they're not that way.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? That'll teach you.
Right, so that's where Valeric is. I need to find Arvak first.
Where'd you come from?
Because I'm tired of my horse dying every time, so I figured I'd have a summon one. Alright, I know it's not going to be in there.
Where'd you come from? Done and done. Where'd you come from? Done and done.
Arvak! You saved him! His soul is free, I can feel it! He's such a loyal beast. Here, I'll teach you how to call him to you. He'll help you get around this wretched place. but I'm sure he'd be much happier someplace sunnier. Goodbye, hero. Take good care of Arvak for me. Such a good horse.
Alright, first of all, let's save it, because I don't know if it'll crash my game or not. Being conjuration. Oh shit. Do I have anything that boosts? Increase your health. So that's useful. Actually is. Well, shit. Well, I got the spell that I cannot use.
Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Na!
Let's keep moving. I feel like we're being watched.
Can't remember if I asked you this or not.
I don't think anyone's ever met the Ideal Masters. I'm not even sure anyone knows what they look like. They could be underground, flying above us. They might be the ground. I have no idea. Lots of theories. Some say they feed on them like I feed on blood. Others think they use them as payment to an even higher power, almost like a currency. A very strange currency. Whatever they're doing with them, they've been harvesting for millennia. No telling how many souls are trapped here. Look around you. There are some extremely powerful undead here. Even a necromancer as seasoned as my mother would be willing to spend years trying to gain access to them. Exactly. It's a lost art. Most necromancers just raise up whatever bodies are nearby. A simple trick, really. Child's play. But bringing something from the soul cairn gives you something much more powerful. Well, that's usually the trick. It's possible to do it through a simple portal. But to finalize the deal, you have to travel here yourself. And most of them never come back.
Alright.
Mother? Mother!
Mika, it can't be. Serana?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him. To make everything right.
Wait a minute. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down.
I'm here to keep her safe.
Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble. Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you.
That's why I'm here.
You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
What?
When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
And how does she fit into it?
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor.
She went through that willingly?
It was expected of her, just as it was expected of me. Being selected as an offering to Molig Bal is an honor. She wouldn't have dared turn her back on that.
So you need her blood?
Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible.
You don't think he'd kill his own child, would you?
If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
And how exactly do you plan on stopping him?
Well, if you could have killed him, you would have. So I think I need your help.
Have you been listening to me? Like Serana, I'm a pure-blooded vampire. My presence on Tamriel is as much of a danger as hers.
And what's her opinion in this?
You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're still a vampire hunter at heart.
What?
You're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed.
Well, if she trusts me, why don't you?
Serana? This stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him.
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
How dare you? I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
Oh, Serana, if you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him, before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me, but for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can.
Do you have the scroll with you?
Yes. I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins.
What do we need to do?
You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down.
We'll be back.
One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnevere roaming the cairn. Be wary of him. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat.
Oh, trust me, sweetheart. I've dealt with them before. Dealt with dragons. If I leave here, can I stay for a return?
As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the Soul Cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer.
Why haven't you done that, Frosty?
Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by your daughter running around like a crackhead. What sort of attention?
If eternal night fell, there are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal. The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down and eliminated.
So you prefer living in the shadows?
I do. It's how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future.
How'd you become imprisoned here?
When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place.
What's the bargain?
I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they craved. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
They tricked you?
The Ideal Masters unleashed their keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins.
You're trapped here.
Unfortunately, yes. Since the keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to breach.
You've been here all this time?
Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game, each watching the other to see which will give in.
And who are these masters?
I know very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
And what do they look like?
Well, some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the Soul Cairn. I believe there's more to it than that.
How so?
I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
And the crystals?
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Why would they require sustenance?
The Ideal Masters' weakness is their insatiable hunger for pure souls. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining with them.
And when they get in return?
The ability to summon powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here as harvested souls.
See
Be
ya.
careful, and keep my daughter safe.
I will.
Let's kill those keeper things and get back to the prison.
Well, let's get over here.
I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be doing this alone.
How are you feeling about your mother?
Relieved, I think. All those things had been building for a while. You have no idea how long I wanted to say that to her.
Why'd you ever agree to go along with her?
Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became his life. Everything else, even me and my mother, we just became clutter. I was close with my mother, but she just kept feeding me her opinions of him, and eventually I started believing them.
She doesn't seem too fond of him.
The moment we gave ourselves to Molik Bal, things got really icy between them. They were both drunk with power, and pulling in different directions. And then he found that prophecy, and that was it.
And you were just caught in the middle.
I was. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as he was. He was obsessed with power. She was obsessed with seeing him fail. It was just so toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off now.
It didn't have anything to do with you, I think.
That's easy to say, but I definitely didn't help things. Anyway, we should keep moving.
Yeah, let's go kick some ass.
Wood! Nakast!
Ow.
Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast!
That'll teach you.
Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! Nakast! Wood! 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 Ah! Good! Good house! So, Dragon!
Oh shit.
Done and done. Let's kill those keeper things and get back to the prison. Where'd you come from?
Oh, I still gotta go to sleep. Eh.
Who's there? That'll teach you. Knew I heard something. That'll teach you. The barrier should be...
You managed to destroy all 3 keepers? Very impressive.
That's what I do.
Yes. Please follow me. Keep watch for Durnevere. With the prison's barrier down, he's almost certain to investigate.
Good God, woman, you're tall.
Wait. I hear something.
It's the... Where'd you... Forgive my astonishment. But I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon.
Why'd you say that?
Volumes written on Durnevere allege that he can't be slain by normal means. It appears they were mistaken. Yes.
Go on.
The soul of a dragon is as resilient as its owner's scaly hide. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnevere's physical form while he reconstitutes himself.
How long will that take?
Minutes, hours, years. I can't even begin to guess. I suggest we don't wait around to find out. Now, let's get you the Elder Scroll and you can be on your way.
Come on. She's leading us to the scroll.
What did you want?
That's it. That's the last scroll. Come on, let's take it to rescue.
Oh.
Now that you've retrieved the Elder Scroll, you should be on your way. If there's anything I can do before you depart, you must let me know.
Can you help me get my soul back?
So my daughter applied some of the lessons I taught her about necromancy, did she? Don't worry. I think I can help you.
Good, cause I could use all the help that I can get.
Your soul essence was trapped inside a gem. When you and Serana entered the soul cairn, it was given to the Ideal Masters as payment. You simply need to retrieve the gem. The moment you touch it, your soul essence will be restored.
Any idea where it could be?
There's an offering altar not terribly far from here. I'm willing to bet that the gem you're looking for is there. Is there anything else? Could be your last chance.
You staying here?
I have no choice. As I told you before, I'm a daughter of Cold Harbor. If I return to Tamriel, that increases Harkon's likelihood of bringing the tyranny of the sun to fruition.
We'll return for you when we can.
I appreciate your concern for me, but Serana is all that I care about. You must keep her safe at all costs. Remember
Sure.
that Harkon is not to be trusted. No matter what he promises, he'll deceive you in order to get what he wants. And promise me you'll keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing of value I have.
Of course I'll keep her safe. And that's going to be the end of the episode.